Why do airplanes use kerosene? Why not regular gasoline like cars? Or diesel? Or, at this point, electricity? Today we're breaking down exactly why modern passenger and cargo planes fly on kerosene. You'll learn why gasoline would be a total disaster for them, how kerosene beats every other option, what dangers it hides, and why we still haven't found anything better. This is going to be one of the hottest topics in our series. Let's get into it. Back in the early days of aviation, in the 1910s and 1920s, planes flew on regular car gasoline. The engines were basically the same as the ones in cars at the time. But the higher and farther planes flew, the more problems appeared. At altitude, gasoline would start boiling and vaporizing, making the engines run rough. And when the first jet engines came along in the late 1930s and early 1940s, it became crystal clear. Gasoline just wasn't going to cut it. German engineers during World War II were already experimenting with different fuels for their jet fighters. After the war, when the jet age for passenger planes really took off, the final choice landed on kerosene. Imagine trying to make a Boeing 747 run on 91-octane pump gas. It'd be like trying to run a Ferrari on diesel. Technically possible for a little while, but it's going to end badly real fast. Look, kerosene didn't win because it's the absolute best fuel in the world. It won because it perfectly fits the brutal demands of high altitude, massive weight, and safety. First, temperature. At cruising altitude of 30,000 to 40,000 feet, it's minus 50 to minus 60 degrees Celsius outside. Regular gasoline would get thick or even start to freeze. Jet A1 kerosene stays liquid down to minus 47 degrees Celsius. That's absolutely critical. Second, safety. Kerosene is much harder to ignite than gasoline. Its flash point is around plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. So if there's a leak, it won't catch fire nearly as easily. For an airplane carrying tens of thousands of pounds of fuel, that's literally a life or death difference. Third, energy and economics. Kerosene gives an excellent energy-to-weight ratio and is relatively cheap to produce in huge quantities. Every single pound of fuel on board costs a fortune in terms of performance. The more efficient the fuel, the farther and cheaper you can fly. So when you hear them say the plane is getting fueled up, know that the tanks aren't being filled with 91 or diesel. It's specially refined and treated aviation kerosene that's gone through dozens of quality checks. Modern jet fuel is a high-tech product. They add anti-icing additives, anti-static additives, so the fuel doesn't spark, corrosion inhibitors. The fuel constantly circulates through the plane's systems and is even used as a coolant for some components. At high altitude, it can get extremely cold, but thanks to the additives, it stays liquid. You could say kerosene in an airplane pulls multiple shifts. It's fuel, coolant, and part of the safety system all at once. A Boeing 777 on a long-haul flight can burn 8 to 10 tons of kerosene per hour. The record holder was the Antonov An-225 Mriya, up to 18 tons per hour. Right now, there's a big push for sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, basically green kerosene made from waste, vegetable oils, and even captured CO2. The goal is to greatly increase its share by 2050. In an emergency landing with too much weight, pilots can dump fuel in the air to lighten the plane. Kerosene in airplanes isn't a random choice. It's the result of decades of engineering calculations that took everything into account: altitude, temperature, safety, economics, and reliability. Simple things we take for granted are actually backed by some serious science. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Did you already know why planes fly on kerosene? Thanks for watching. See you in the next mystery of everyday things. Bye.